These are the top war offense team, the top 10 war offense teams that I'm using right now. Yeah, what is with your poking me in the introduction?
I don't know, man.
We just came from OhEmGee channel. We looked at his top 10. We're gonna look at my top 10. So if you're ready to see who are the top 10 best war offense teams, OhEmGee, tell them what to do.
Let's go poke it.
ValleyFlyin.
Oh, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. This is OhEmGee. We just came from your channel looking at your top 10 war offense teams. We're going to look at my top 10 war offense teams. And later in a couple days, we're going to look at our top war defense teams, all 8 of ours. Now, you made a very good point before we started recording that you only really need 10. Why is that important?
Okay, so the way I see a war right now is that you have 8 teams on defense, 10 teams for offense. You should, in theory, be winning your matches in 10 attacks. In theory. Well,
most of the time.
I think if you look at your roster that way as 90 total characters, this allows you to eliminate characters that are not good from upgrading. And then also, you know, if you have 8 teams on defense and you do 10 attacks, at the end of your war, you can look at the characters you didn't use and then maybe pivot some of those to defense if you have some leftover good characters, right?
Yes. Also picking matchups. You know, if you only have 10 matchups and you could use whatever your 10th best team,
right,
even if it's a very strong team on whoever you're facing, because you know you're not going to be using any other of these teams, right?
Yeah, the main thing about having 10 teams and knowing what is your worst team and your best team, specifically what your worst team is, because sometimes in war you're gonna come up against a match and you're gonna say, wow, we just need to get a W here, we need to get a win, and I can beat this team with every team. There's really no reason to take any risk if you just use your 10th best team. Yeah. And so I often people are like, well, why did you use this team against that team? It's my worst team. And there's no point in going deeper and taking any chances, just to using that. And then and that way you don't get into a situation later on where you know that you've got confidence, then you're not taking unnecessary risks.
Yeah, because one of the most important things in war is making sure that you win and not taking those unnecessary risks. But without further ado, let's go take a look at my top 10. Now, these are in order of my Blitz save squad. So some of these are not in order, but as far as my 10th best team, probably going to be this power armor here. Once in a while, if I need it, I'm going to put Ultron in here, but for some reason, I don't know why, I'm seeing a lot of Guardians on defense, and this is the counter to that. Unless Vision blocks rescue, and then it goes to crap. But more often than not, this team is so fun. You're taking some big punch ups, and when it goes right, you're just annihilating the other team. But there is probably about a 20% chance of Vision going against ability blocking rescue, and then just goes bad.
So I was finding that over many months, I was finding that I was not using Ultron in a lot of matchups. Like I just wasn't using Ultron. Now I always use Ultron on this team. I do not play this version of the team. I always use Ultron because it's just you know how many times where that one time that you said it, rescue. gets ability block, or what if somebody on the team gets slowed because you hit Groot and Groot's passive goes off, right? And then the turn order goes wrong. Ultron is just it gives the team so much more consistency. Especially because the problem with power armor is, if you don't win on turn 2, right, then there you have a problem where Ultron can hang and maybe finish it up.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've waited long enough, just waited out the turns, waited off the AoEs, even with the ability to block. But I'd rather have that guarantee. So I might poor Tony. He might be off the team and putting Ultron in that spot.
I've made a commitment myself to not play this team without Ultron because it's just not worth those wonky, weird things where Vision Rocket just blows up somebody and you're like, wow, this is horrible. Or Star-Lord just decides to go after Rescue and they attack her 4 times in a row. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, good point. Good point about the consistency. So maybe I'm not really using Ultron a lot anyway. So maybe I'll just put him in this Iron Man spot. All right, next team that I think is my 9th best team, counting these guys down in order, is gonna be the Uncanny X-Men, and this is I'm kind of using these guys nowadays as a floater for some mid-level teams, some non-meta team that I need to beat, and these guys are able to punch up against these teams. Yeah, X-Men, how they have fallen off. They used to be the best team.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this in your video. When Beast came out, it was like, oh, why do you need Beast? They're already the best team in the game, and now they need Beast, and they're not as good with him. So.
All right. I mean, so this team here, there are certain rooms where I go to my default go to when I was using them on. I've actually pivoted to defense, which we'll talk about a little bit. But any room that has not reactor with disrupted, no, but security. When any of the, or the adjacent rooms that have defense down. So there's a lot of matchups where you're like, oh man, what do I do? But having Phoenix go and bring the defense, take all the defense down and put it onto her, and then actually have defense down on herself and then die quickly is a good thing. So any defense down room, I was using this, but I was finding this. I was in the same place as you. The thing is that a lot of people have upgraded Phoenix to the Stratosphere for Dark Dimension 4, and that's problematic where she just won't die. And I had some fluke losses, and I decided that I removed your Wolverine and I put Doom on defense, but that's for a different video. And I'm using them now on defense because I was finding them to be inconsistent if Phoenix didn't die.
Yeah, there's a lot of times she doesn't even die. It's Cyclops' ult that clears everybody off. And yeah, good point about Wolverine. Storm is actually here for war offense. This is just how I have it set up for blitz. But Storm goes here.
Storm would be. I was gonna say I don't use Wolverine.
No, this is my blitz. These are my blitz teams. Yeah, Storm goes here in war.
Storm would be better there, and then where I take out Storm and I put Doom, which is my flavor for this month. It might change next month. We'll see.
Next month I should have Doom, but yeah, this is probably why this has become a problem. This should not be 80 and everybody else around her is so low, and sometimes she doesn't die. That's a big problem. All right, next team though. I like this team. I don't know if the placement of this team on this list is the correct, but this one, the Hela's natural team. I use this once against Wave 1 Avengers. You've had success against this team, or with this team against the Sinister Six. I just like this team. This was recommended to me by Philosopher. I've been using this ever since, and this does very, very big punch-ups against Wave 1 Avengers.
Amazing. And I also I've been removing Scarlet Witch and putting Loki there. I don't know where you use your Loki, but I also like that.
That's a good option as well.
Yeah. So there's two different ways of playing it, but yeah, I either way, Hela Natural is amazing. Hela on defense is a liability against Carnage passive, Jubilee's passive, and
White Tiger, X-23.
White Tiger, yeah. I just don't think. And so Hela on offense is a high amount of value. That is an amazing team. And Wave 1 Avengers with Thor, depending on the size of the Thor and the Hulk, can be a kind of a problem. So you got to get through the Hawkeye, you got to get through the Thor, and then it usually doesn't just heal over and over again. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, the Thor usually is my first target. I finding Hulk is a little bit of a problem, but with this team, they're punching up pretty big. It's not that big of a deal. All right, next team, and I don't know if these guys should be placed the number, what are we at, 6 spot here?
Yeah.
No, 10, 9, 8, 7, 7 spot. So 7 spot.
So you're doing you're doing the Drax thing like me too. Then that's good versus mercenaries, because they will go after Grenadier, right?
I gotta rebalance. I've just started putting a little more love into Zemo, so I gotta fix this Grenadier. He's not the highest damage character anymore.
So the bad news is that you're gonna have to take Grenadier pretty high for this to work against Mercs.
Yes.
Because if they delete Zemo, you lose.
Yeah, it worked last week. It worked last week before I started putting more love into Zemo for the skill lanes in Doom. But yeah, that's an issue right here. I'm gonna have to build him up. But when this team works properly, and actually the past war, it was this way. Zemo was the highest damage character, but Drax just got taken out, and it didn't really affect Zemo. Zemo was able to do his thing. So,
okay,
but this is not the ideal build.
Yeah,
Just to
but,
let you know
but really, Grenadier. So one of the things that I did on Grenadier, because I was not able to get him up, because with Zemo, I use in DD4, so 15, and he's pretty chunky, right?
Yeah.
So as far as damage, and putting a striker, which is not efficient on Grenadier, but putting just to get that extra damage boost, so you don't have, because who wants to put resources into Grenadier? Come on, it's just it. But if it's because Taskmaster is going to apply taunt to the character with the highest damage, and you do not want that to be Zemo. You want that to be Grenadier, because Red Skull will just revive him, and then either Red Guardian or Drax is there as a backstop, and then as the fifth member, there's a lot of discussion over who's the fifth member to go on this team. Your highest powered one, which is whatever one you have red stars on. I swear, it doesn't matter that much. It just doesn't.
I'm actually thinking of taking him off, because if Winter Soldier dies, Red Skull's not going to bring him back to life. I might actually put a minion in this spot.
There's a lot of discussion over which is the best minion, but it's literally, I don't know.
Maybe Sniper.
It's just whatever.
Sniper for the offense.
Sniper. That's the one that I usually hear. Anyways.
All right, so this is a good team. I gotta fix this, but once Grenadier has the highest damage on the team, they work very, very well. And again, this order, you may argue with the order, but I think these are the top 10 teams in the game right now for War offense. Where are they? Here they are. XForce. These guys do so well. Obviously, I need a little more love for both of these characters, because this is what makes this team tick. But yes, punch ups against the mercs. This is a effective merc counter. Are you using these guys anywhere else?
Well, X23 and Teenage Warhead are great, but X23 specifically in RTA is crazy, especially with characters like Dad Bros. Because what happens is they in RTA when dude, her passive when she gets turn meter, I don't know how much, 40 or 50, when they drop below 50%.
I think it's 50%. I think 50%.
Yeah, she gets like 40% turn meter. It doesn't matter. She goes a lot. Yeah. And it's crazy how good she is. I just really like her. I actually think X23 will because she could outgrow this team and get moved somewhere else.
I use her on like sacrifice links and Doom raids when I'm not using the Axeman, because there's some nodes the Axeman I'm not able to one shot him with, so I've taken a sacrifice team with Phoenix and some big characters. She does very, very well in the Doom raids as well. Not using the rest of these characters, but X23 in particular. Yeah, it's just I'm already getting additional use out of her. All right, next team that I use on offense.
Too many good mutants.
Hey, that's a good problem to have, I think.
Yeah.
Axemen. What is there to say about Axemen that hasn't been said? They're awesome. I know there's some people that place them on defense, people that place them on offense. What is, and I know you recently put them back to offense. What was
they may go back to defense.
I
think if I was able to extract one more effective offense team, they seemed I think that's the direction the game is going right now, is offensive teams. I think they're trying to speed up war, and I think they're prepping us for adding 2 extra defensive slots to go from 8 to 10. And if they're gonna do that, they need to push everybody towards offense. For sure. And, because I don't think they want these alliance wars to stall out. They want them to go, because I think it's better for them if they have the wars go to full clears, which I've polled people before. It's like 50% of the people don't even know what we're talking about with full clears. It's the numbers are something like that, like 50%.
Yeah, so we cleared the 11-hour mark or something.
Yeah, full clear is a thing. 13 hour, 10 hours is really fast, but 13 hours is the typical. Yeah, which is when basically the 10th attack goes down in the 13th hour if you're doing it.
If you're not getting as many losses,
you have.
I think it's 27 losses, then it's not possible to full clear before the
24. Clear. Yeah, 24. If they go over 24 and you're under 24, then actually you can log in just before. Yeah, you can log in just before the 13th hour and finish it up before they do, and then they're dead. Yeah, which is it makes for an exciting war. Now the problem with that is that for me that is at 7 a.m. So it means I got to set my alarm for 7:30 in the morning and be making sure all my attacks are done at 6:30. And then if we've managed our losses, kept our losses low, then we're finishing it up before they get to their 10th drop, which is at the 13-hour mark.
Yeah, and there's what we talk about all these offensive teams. We have Axeman, then we got X Factor. Shadowland, and then Skill Military is getting a rework as well. So that's the four latest teams are war offense.
Well, let's say that maybe that's the catalyst for me moving them to defense is as Skill Military, right? I don't know.
It could be. We'll see on Tuesday.
I've seen people put Skill Military on defense, which is interesting.
I have them on defense, and they get punched down on a lot. But I'm just hoping it'll trick somebody.
Yeah, I don't. I've benched my Skill Military, so they're no use to me right now.
Probably better
because a Red Guardian actually is. I've thrown Red. Well, that's for the defensive war. I threw Red Guardian on defense with mercenaries just to create a different. So it's not just the same mercenary team everybody sees all the time.
Good point. I'm probably going to be after switching around my war defense before we make that video. Little bit, but Axeman in that spot. All right, next team, the Symbiotes. This is a great team. They counter some pretty good teams that are still in the meta. I'm normally using these guys against the Doc Ock combo, the Sinister Six combo, but you're talking about using them against the Marauders. Doctor Doom they're a good counter to Doctor Doom.
Well, I don't know if they're a good counter. Solid. They're a good counter, but yes, I have one. I've single tapped Doom Marauders, and the reason why Symbiotes can work against Doom Marauders is that the clone is an early target against Marauders because you once you get a kill, then they start to ramp up a little bit, and then the Doombots are also excellent choices, and then Doom can be ability blocked by Venom. So there is some their way of getting through it. I also I'm starting to pivot towards this idea that a lot of the symbiotes that we had as strikers or raiders probably need to be skirmishers, only because it's been brought to my attention that the ISO blue skirmisher flips positive effects into bleed, and that is going to be bonkers good for symbiotes who thrive off of negative effects. And so I think there's been a lot of debate over what is the best ISO 8 for Symbiote Spider-Man and Scream, and there's been a lot of really good suggestions out there. I have to say that pretty much everybody agrees that Anti-Venom and Venom need to be strikers and Carnage needs to be skirmisher. I'm thinking that eventually both Scream and Symbiote Spider-Man are going to be skirmisher also, just because of the way the blue skirmisher thing works.
Do we know when that? Oh, what happened to my game here?
I don't know. It crashed on you. It's an intended. It's not a bug. It's an intended fix.
Oh yeah. All right, we're back. We're back.
We're back.
We were talking about the symbiotes. We were talking about the symbiotes. How good they were.
But anyways, so I can see that you've already done skirmisher on Scream, which is excellent. And I did skirmisher on Symbiote Spider-Man, and I've been really liking that.
Well, the only question on that is the playtesting for ISO 8 Blue just finished.
Yeah.
Are they going to do another one? Is it going to be like another year? Yeah. So
I don't know if I would jump the gun on that, but it's an idea anyways. Just
they may change everything from their first thing anyway. Yeah. So.
But skirmisher on symbiotes could be a thing if ISO Blue plays out that way. And plus, getting that extra focus is a big deal because the team depends on landing negative effects.
Yeah.
And two of the things that stop that from happening is your opponent having defense up and immunity. And so skirmisher kind of handles that, getting rid of those positive effects, which make negative effects easier to apply. So I just really like the skirmisher. I'm starting to really become a skirmisher fanboy for symbiotes, other than Anti-Venom and Venom. They need to be striker. But the other three could be skirmisher, and that's that. The extra focus when you get to level 5, and then the potential of the way that it's going to play out with Blue ISO.
Yeah, that extra focus from the skirmisher. I'm looking at a lot of my characters that don't have that focus and thinking I'm taking up to.
Well, it's only at level 5 though. I mean, going level 5
for some important characters.
Yeah.
It's not just random characters. Only the important characters I might be taking up there. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the list. This could some people could argue this could be in the top 2 or in the top spot. Shadowland. This is one of the best war offense teams in the game right now. you point out the top characters are Night Nurse because of other reasons, but White Tiger is what makes this team tick on war offense.
Yeah. Well, as far as being the best team in the game, offensive war team in the game, you could make a case for that. I mean, we're really tic-tacking whether Black Order is better than this. I don't know. I think the thing is I don't think that anybody is playing, well, not anybody, but I think a lot of us are not playing like 14, 15, 10, 12, 13 T4s, with all at least 5 red star, 5, 7, because that's what we're using them with Black Orders. That you get what I'm trying to say, right? That's what we have. That's the reality of Black Order, right? Is that it's T4'd out of its mind, red star, gold promotion credits, silver promotion credits, upgraded, 15, 14 or 15 on most of the team. Yet I've only upgraded 2 characters on my team, White Tiger and Night Nurse, and I'm getting similar results that I get with Black Order already. Is it the best offensive war team in the game? Probably.
You can definitely make that argument. Well, these other, obviously everybody knows about the Black Order, but I'm also not only a fan of Shadowlands because of what they could do. X Factor, I don't think people are sleeping on them, but they're capable of some crazy punch-ups as well. Where are they? There they are. 370. These low 370 teams taking out 600k plus Marauders teams. And you can see where I have them built. Not too much in multiple man, not too much in Polaris, not too much in Namor. It's pretty much these guys. So there is a chance that this battle goes very bad if one of these guys dies. But
I mean, that's the thing that we need to talk about here too. Is to get these teams to work, you don't have to upgrade the entire team. So like if you want your XForce to work, really you just need to upgrade X23 and Teenage Warhead. If you want want X Factor to work right here, you need to upgrade Longshot and Shatterstar. If you want your Shadowlands to work, you really just need to upgrade Night Nurse and White Tiger. You don't need to go crazy on the entire team. These teams work like that. And even with Axemen, Astonishing X-Men, Beast, Jubilee, Bishop. You really can leave. You don't, because at the end of the day, we know this game is about bottlenecks on bottlenecks. And so, if you're able to successfully pick and choose Valley's gardeners outside.
Oh, you hear that? I was wondering if you heard that through the thing.
You know what? Anyways,
I hope it's not too distracting, guys.
I was making some kind of point about something and I can't remember now.
Only upgrade the characters that are important on the team. You don't have to upgrade the whole team. Just upgrade the characters that are important.
Here's the thing: is bottlenecks are frustrating, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Valley, is that you have the same bottlenecks that I do, and by if you had decided that you wanted to take your multiple man and upgrade only Polaris and only multiple man and not upgrade Longshot and Shatterstar, what would that look like?
It would not be capable of those big punch-ups with these guys with the powerful.
So bottlenecks are a thing, and this game largely is about spending resources wisely and putting it into characters that actually need and can get, min-maxing everything, right? And that is the point of the game. And so because we both have the same problems with gold. We both have the same problems with T4s. We both have the same problems with mutant gear. Oh my God. Every good character right now is a mutant. So you've got to pick and choose your places. And there's a couple key characters. Like if you're struggling with mutants, man, there's a couple ones that really need some love, and that's going to be Bishop and Longshot, right? That's just kind of where you need the love. And otherwise, if you're just upgrading, random characters that you love or you think are good, you're not going to get the most bang for your buck.
You're not managing your resources if you're doing that.
Well, bottlenecks, that is, to me, largely what makes this game fun.
Yeah, man, it's there's this strategy and things with the battle, but a lot of it, most of the time, is managing your resources and choosing what are the best characters to upgrade. So this is a strong team, big punch ups. If they were on the level of Black Order as far as gear levels, T4s, all that, maybe the best team in the game as far as war offense. You could also make that argument for Shadowland.
I think multiple man. I think multiple man really shines with a character like Zemo. It really does. I mean, you're using Namor. I use but I think I'm a little disappointed with multiple man and Polaris. I feel like what the strength, dude, the bonkersness of the X Factor, Longshot and Shatterstar, when accompanied by a character like Zemo, is what makes them good. Is that they go quickly, and Zemo goes first, gets a crit, and then the whole team ramps up, right? Yeah. That's what we need for a fifth X Factor. And if they're gonna bring an X Factor, I hope that he has some goes first, goes before those other two guys, and gets the crit train started. Because otherwise, I don't feel like Polaris and Mum, they do good things, but they did not do that, and that's what the team needs.
True. I mean, he keeps them alive. And he's done a good job of that, but that's pretty much all he does. The team is all about these guys, and I don't have her built up to see how important she is. She dies kind of early, but if these guys stay alive, big punch ups.
And Namor is good enough to go on that team. I mean, the team is going to be fine, but really, with the best version of this team probably is with Zemo or Silver Surfer. Probably with Zemo though.
Probably,
yeah, but those
I need more teams. Maybe
you can't hybrid everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Until our 90, our 18 teams gets more refined, then we're going to start going in those directions for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last team. I don't know if we need to talk too much about this team. Everybody knows they're the best team overall in the game. Maybe there's some specific teams that do better on war offense. Maybe there's some hybrid teams that do better than these guys, but we're talking about full teams. Black Order still the best team in the game.
Let me ask you a question. So
yes,
I've said, I've told people to not put Black Order on defense and only use it on offense. I got a lot of resistance from people on that idea. So tell me your pitch on why most people should be putting Black Order. Not everybody, but most people should be putting Black Order on offense, not defense.
Well, here's the thing. My alliance leader in my former alliance made this point because my Black Order is pretty big early on. I was like, should I be putting these guys on defense? They might be able to get some defensive wins. And early in their lifespan of the Black Order, they were. But it was saying that, and it made sense. People are facing the Black Order in arena every single day. If you're in that level of the game and have the Black Order, people know how to beat Black Order. You could beat Black Order mirror matchups. There's some other teams that could beat Black Order. So you're not going to get a lot of defensive wins nowadays, especially if your opponents have Black Order on offense. And it's more important to get that guaranteed offensive win than to possibly get a defensive win or try to take up another team's Black Order. So, offense makes the most sense, but I guess if depending on what your alliance is doing and what everybody else is doing as far as rooms and what they're saving and using to counter Black Order, it could make sense. But I think for most people, using them on offense is going to be the way to go. Yep. Is that kind of what you're feeling as well?
Yeah, it's just I can't believe how much resistance I got to this idea. I think I wouldn't consider putting them on defense right now. It's just me personally. I mean, and you know what? Doom might be that way too soon. Like if Doom becomes like very easy to counter and everybody knows how to counter Doom easily, okay, he's so good on offense, why would I put him on defense? Yeah. So we might even this transition of right now, people that have Doom are placing him on defense, that may move away from that because Doom is an auto win on offense.
Yeah.
Right? And so what's the value of an auto lose on defense? You know what I mean? What's or a high chance of a loss?
It might take up a Black Order. That's your best case scenario when you play that kind of team. So I mean, it's kind of the scenario with Black Order as well. When Black Order first came out, you saw them in defense like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do to beat this? We're not gonna take this out. Yeah. And now there's it's kind of becoming more common. So it's not right to place them on defense anymore. But I guess if your opponents don't have the right counters to Black Order, it could be very difficult. If they don't have a Black Order themselves, it could be.
I'm thinking in the future, like difficult. Doom might become an offense team.
Oh, I was agreeing with you. I definitely think that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Not now, not today, but Doom will pivot to an offense team in the same way that Black Order did, for sure. I can see that happening, absolutely.
No, yeah, I was thinking about Black Order to make your point because right now he's tricky. There's a few teams that could beat Doom. There's some people that could be ability to block. off and get that. But yeah, more and more people there's probably gonna be more teams even that are able to counter Doom, and he's gonna have less value placed on defense. So models will use them on offense, and that's kind of the trend with war and defense. But enough with defense. We're going to talk about defense in the next video we do, which will be in a few days. And we're going to go over the top 8 defensive squads that we're using right now.
This idea that of logging on right when your war starts and getting your entire alliance to log on when your war starts and everybody get as many attacks done in the first 2 hours is monster if you want to play war effectively.
Yeah, those first few attacks are very, very important. If your entire alliance has a schedule that everybody could be on right at the start, ooh, you're at a big advantage over the opponent. So that's pretty much it. Anything else before you go, brother?
We did a similar video on my channel with my teams, and we're also going to do a defensive war video here in the next couple of days as well. Okay.
Yes. All right. So that is it. Thank you for joining me, brother. It is always fun. And now that you're in studio, let's try to see if we can line up this fist bump thing. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boom. Baby. Hulk fist bump. OhEmGee and ValleyFlyin. Out. Have a great weekend, guys.